The KUAM Care Force, along with our community partners, IP&E, Micronesia Renewable Energy Inc., are thinking green and gearing up for our annual Think Green cleanup on Saturday, April 28th. This year, we'll be cleaning our streets in East Agana to Paseo, beginning at 7 a.m. We're calling on teams, organizations, community groups, and you to join us and do your part to help clean up and green up our island. Let's do our part in making the island we call home a cleaner and more beautiful place. To register and for more information, please call 635-5836 or visit us on KUAM.com or any of our digital and social media platforms. In the spirit of thinking green, we encourage participants to bring their reusable water containers. Biodegradable trash bags and gloves will be provided. Special thanks to CS.
There's a common thread I see every time I'm in the field.
While this is burning, you were saving other homes.
Neighbors helping neighbors and strangers alike.
This is what America's about.
Sometimes it's nice to see all the good that's out there.
Bringing folks out, we have seen it in community after community.
Watch Health Check with Nurse Jen Artero every Tuesday for community health information, advisories, and news you and your family can use for leading a healthier lifestyle. Health Check during KUAM News Healthy Living. Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. The all-new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on Primetime, another suspect in the prison murder case wants his day in court separate and apart from the others accused. Plus, hundreds of Guam Guard members prepare for deployment. Keane Mendiola has the details of where they're headed. And dozens of the island's youth take on government jobs during Island Leadership Day. Carmen Chalahi with a big announcement from the governor's counterpart.
Holiday and good evening.
Well, he's charged with 8 others in connection to last year's murder in the prison, but wants to face a jury solo. Albert Santos II back in court today, this time defense arguing his motion to sever.
Defense giving details to the court, who said what, and how this could prejudice Santos should he proceed in a joint trial. Here's more from inside Judge Anita Sacola's courtroom. Defense attorney Jay Areola does the math. 9 defendants, 9 defense counsels, 9 defense investigators, 9 marshals, 12 jurors, plus 4 alternates, and 2 prosecutors.
That's 54 people within the well of this courtroom. It is physically impossible to conduct a trial for 9 defendants in this courtroom.
Attorney Areola represents Albert Santos II, one of 9 men charged in the killing of detainee Manson Isar at the Hagåtña lockup late last year. In court on Wednesday, defense argued it'd be a better use of judicial resources severing his client's case.
Each counsel and defendant doing their own 2-week severed trial with witnesses and evidence limited to that against the particular defendant is much, much more economical than all 9 defendants, 9 counsel conducting a 5-month trial with dozens of witnesses and exhibits not related to my particular client.
The trial was set for Friday the 13th, majority of those charged asserting their right to speedy trial. The court has tolled the clock due to issues securing legal counsel for each defendant. Over a dozen attorneys have withdrawn to date, some reporting conflicts and others saying they don't have the experience to provide competent counsel. Security issues have also prompted the court to sever the 9 defendants into 2 groups to appear in court in separate hearings on consecutive days. These delays, Attorney Areola argues, violate Santos' right to speedy trial. An overflow of evidence could also prejudice Santos.
Some of these people are much, much more culpable. Marvin Reckham was recorded on the PayTel telling his mom he did something bad in here. She asked him, "Did you kill someone in there?" To which he responded, "Yes." Ooh, in Chuukese.
Prosecutor Jeremy Kemper responding, it'd be too redundant.
It's going to be the same evidence for all of the people. The facts of this case are there was a defendant that instructed other defendants in the judicial center's holding cells to attack the victim. They went back to the jail and attacked the victim in conjunction with one another as well as Mr. Santos. It's going to be giving the jury a very incomplete picture of the events leading up to Mr. Isar's death if we only say, well, Mr. Santos took the victim into a cell and hit him. I mean, that's going to leave out the events before, the events after, and that's all intertwined.
Though not discussed at length at the hearing, defense's filings tell all. Who said what to investigators, some defendants taking the blame, some denying any involvement, and some refusing to talk until they were released from jail. Santos's motion was taken under advisement.
We should note this isn't Albert Santos' first time charged in connection to an attack at the prison. He and co-defendant Jeremiah Sasaki were charged with attempted murder of detainee Justin Meno. That case was thrown out due to ongoing delays to have forensic evidence tested by the FBI.
Busted with drugs just months ago and back in jail on drug charges. Marshals were conducting a fugitive check at a Dededo home on Tuesday. Instead, they found 38-year-old Roger Balicha, who told marshals the person they were looking for wasn't home. Instead, a search of the home revealed drug items, including 1.1 grams of the drug ice. Balicha was charged with possession of a Schedule II controlled substance as a third-degree felony, as well as commission of a felony while on felony release.
Police are also called to the home of Sharks on Monday after 2 students are caught with drugs. DOE officials confirming a Simon Sanchez High School official found marijuana on the pair while on campus. Both students admitted they had been smoking it. No word on what disciplinary action, if any, could have been taken against them, but the students' parents were contacted and police are investigating.
A mother of a Simon Sanchez High School student seen apparently being bullied in a viral video is outraged. She's upset more was not done to prevent the bully from slapping her child during lunch in the cafeteria.
Yeah, as we reported, his attacker was caught on cell phone video in the act. DOE confirming the bully was the same student beyond control and drunk before leaving a trail of blood through the campus halls. Carmen Chalahi has the update.
A mother in tears after learning her son was the boy in this viral video being assaulted.
Monday night when I saw that video, I didn't even think that my boys would go through that.
Ginger Mosca says the school did not contact her immediately, but it wasn't long before others told her they saw the disturbing images online. The assaulter, who smelled of alcohol, making a scene, and bystanders watching.
When is it going to stop? When are they going to have proper school aides or, somebody to watch our children? Because my kids, they're trying their best to be educated, but how can they? They're being distracted by this kind of bullying. This needs to stop.
Ultimately, most upset bullying could happen to any child at school, and no one rushed to her son's aid.
This incident, I'm just afraid for other boys.
Her son is back in school and doing okay, though no charges have been filed against the 18-year-old student seen hitting her boy. The case is being handled by GBD's Juvenile Investigation Division. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
And GDOE is also aware of 2 new videos circulating of students at Southern High School. The girls appear to be under the influence of spice. It happened during school hours. Officials say the Tuesday incident is being handled at the school level.
Do you have a child attending public school? They could be going to a different campus. The Guam Department of Education is hosting a first in a series of meetings to discuss redistricting plans at this hour. Tonight's reassignment of attendance areas village meeting is happening at Agata Johnston Middle School. DOE officials are trying to get stakeholder feedback to the proposed redistricting changes. The committee tasked with finalizing the plans have been meeting with the Education Board, DPW, and village mayors to determine how best to serve the students and families. You can view the complete schedule for the redistricting meetings on KUAM.com. News of the direct threat from North Korea has been calmed. President Donald Trump speaking in Florida today alongside Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe about his planned trip that the country and the talks he hopes he will have a positive end result.
Yeah, Chris, Trump's briefing comes after multiple reports that CIA Director Mike Pompeo met with North Korean leader over Easter weekend. Governor Calvo, meantime, calls Trump's planned trip good news for Guam. But the outcome, we will just have to wait and watch. Trump's trip is planned for early June, if not sooner.
The North Korea problem has been with us for many years. It's something that should have been taken care of years ago, decades ago.
A problem he spoke about during a briefing with Japan's PM in Florida.
I look forward to meeting with Kim Jong-un, and hopefully that will be a success.
A meeting after months of tension with the man he referred to as Rocket Man. Trump admitting things have since eased up. He wants to come to terms with the North Korean leader.
Maybe it will be, and maybe it won't be. We don't know, but we'll see what happens. We've also started talking to North Korea directly. We have had direct talks at very high levels, extremely high levels, with North Korea. And I really believe there's a lot of goodwill.
The meeting expected to go over several issues, including the nuclear weapons program.
This threat with Guam has been going back since 2013.
Months after the North made a direct threat towards Guam, Governor Calvo expressed support for POTUS's trip.
I'm heartened by the good news, and I do know that as North Korea and South Korea are moving towards discussions on a cessation of the war and looking towards peace between those two nations, in the next month or two, we're going to see now a summit between President Trump and of course, the Korean leader Kim Jong-un. And we hope that they can build from the progress that is ongoing now between the two Koreas and their discussions and dialogues. As a matter of fact, Mr. President Trump made this statement in his meetings with Prime Minister Abe of Japan. So you're seeing this dialogue between key leaders in the Western Pacific and East Asia. And all of this, to me, is good news for Guam.
The exact location of President Trump and Kim Jong-un meeting has not yet been disclosed.
President Donald Trump won't be the only one making a trip to Korea, as hundreds of soldiers from the Guam Army National Guard will be departing to South Korea to conduct their annual training this month.
Keanu Mandela has more.
Serving America and protecting the island. An estimated 500 soldiers of the Guam Army National Guard are scheduled to leave for annual training at the end of this month. Destination, South Korea. Major Josephine Bloss is a spokesperson for the Guam National Guard.
Mainly battalion soldiers, but we do have H Company, which is a support unit that's going to be going they're going to be going to Korea and in various locations of Korea.
The training is conducted once a year to ensure readiness of soldiers, including weapons qualification.
One of the reasons that they're going is because the ranges here on Guam cannot support a lot of the heavy weapon systems that they have to qualify on. So by going to Korea, they'll be able to fulfill the requirements of training on those heavy weapon systems.
And to prepare them for other possible deployments.
It'll also give them an opportunity to conduct more real-life type training. So when if they do deploy or they're called on to do any other mission, they'll be qualified to do that.
This year's training site borders the foreign nation of North Korea. However, Major Bloss reassures us this assignment is in no way linked to the tensions with the North.
It's always good to show what the power or the types of training that we can do, but mostly because Korea has the type of ranges that we need for our soldiers to qualify on.
The training will last for 3 weeks and is supported through federal funding from the National Guard Bureau. It's training that has Guam National Guard officials thankful, as they take pride in supporting our troops and their families. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Keanu Mandela.
Well, despite the downward trend of Japanese visitors following the NK threat, more than 135,000 visited Guam during the March of this year. It's a drop, however, of about 5,000 from March of last year, though there has been major improvement as tourism numbers show flights from Japan to Guam were at nearly 90% filled. This edging out the arrivals from Korea and making Japan visitors once again the top market for last month. GVB officials also report moderate growth from Korea and other markets including the U.S., Hawaii, the Philippines, and Europe.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming, KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
We're celebrating our 135th anniversary today, both in the outlying regions on which we hub and also here in Guam itself. It means so much to our team here in Guam. It means a lot to us in the Matson management team because what it says is we're here to stay. It's a real physical manifestation of our commitment to this region. It's so important that we hire locally, we develop talent locally, we train locally. What's been a wonderful addition to our approach there is that many of the people who started off in Guam have gone off into significant leadership roles elsewhere in the company.
This is our headquarters here in Guam in Micronesia. And when we talk about putting down our roots, it's not just doing business, it's about everything we do with our friends, our customers, and our employees. I believe that nobody can replicate what we do, and that's why we have such a great team and such a great service and why we're successful. This is our home, this is our life, and we're happy to make a difference in everyone else's life.
More ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Welcome back. Some sad news now to pass along as former First Lady Barbara Bush, wife of former President George H.W. Bush, has died at the age of 92. She is being remembered as the matriarch of an American political dynasty spanning decades. She was the second American to be both the First Lady and the mother of a president. The family said a couple of days ago that Bush wouldn't seek any further medical treatment after a series of recent hospitalizations. Now, Congresswoman Madeline Berdalio expressed her condolences, stating in part, quote, "Bush was a fearless woman who served our country faithfully. She was a staunch advocate for literacy and education. I join our nation and the people of Guam in mourning her loss."
Imagine going to the mall to get some lunch and only to get an unpleasant surprise in your food. That's the reality for one customer who spotted this Band-Aid in his spinach. The customer, Orion, tells KUAM they were craving Filipino food and went to Ramby's at the Micronesia Mall. After eating most of the food, a coworker found that Band-Aid included. Though they say it was probably an accident, it no doubt ruined their appetite. Public Health conducted an investigation late Wednesday afternoon and found no employees with Band-Aids. Management denying the spinach came from their kitchen. The owner stating that, quote, they use extra large Band-Aids to ensure they are seen if they come off, but employees with Band-Aids are not allowed to handle food, end quote. You may recall last summer, multiple food stalls at the mall were temporarily shut down after health inspectors noted signs of roach infestation.
Well, a man and his daughter are rushed to the hospital after being hit by a car in Tamuning this afternoon. It happened along Route 1 and Governor Camacho Street. Police say both were on a bicycle going across the pedestrian crosswalk when the driver failed to yield and hit them. They were rushed to GMH but are said to have non-life-threatening injuries. The driver, however, was also given a ticket for failing to yield.
Stepping into the shoes of our island leaders for a day. Middle and high school students participated in DYA's Leadership Day that was held 5 years ago. Held 5 years ago.
Right. Students learning the ins and outs of what it means to work in government. And who better to take on this assignment than our very own Carmen Shalahi, who was then Governor Felix Camacho's counterpart when she was only 14.
They flipped the script. The Leon Guerrero Atoygui Garrido administration was sworn into office. This after the pair won the DYA oratorical contest. Michaela Atoygui Garrido, a student at Bishop of Gardner Memorial School, shadowed Lieutenant Governor Tenorio, and following Governor Calvo, Jordan Leon Guerrero of Notre Dame High School. Student Governor Leon Guerrero's first order of business, tax refunds.
Also, 10 million tax refunds will be mailed out on Monday.
Thank you, Governor.
Tax refunds should be in mailboxes by Tuesday. That's his takeaway after meeting with the governor's fiscal team. Leon Guerrero is also passionate about other issues facing our youth.
And some of the issues that concern me a lot in Guam is most of the alcohol abuse, and also the crystal meth abuse as well in our youth.
Similar concerns brought up by student Lieutenant Governor Atoygui Garrido, who spoke with Chief of Police J.I. Cruz and Director of EPA Walter Leon Guerrero.
My biggest concerns were school violence and ocean pollution. That was what I was really concerned about.
Both inspired by our island leaders.
I'm so inspired by Governor Eddie. I would I would follow in his footsteps and make the decisions, take the time to think about them, and to ensure that they benefit, not only one person, but like everybody, the entire community.
Is it everything you expected?
Yes, but better.
The day also a learning experience for Governor Calvo during his final year in office.
He may be getting an education on at least my position as a governor, but I'm getting a good education too on our youth and what are issues so important to them, so it can help me in the decisions I make as a governor.
And these just two of the over 100 students from other public and private schools that shadowed leaders in other government agencies, including the Guam Guard's Adjutant General for the day, Joaquin Rivera.
Get to see what Guam National Guard is all about, and I'm really excited for it.
Excitement and experience to prepare our youth for the future. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
Representatives of various nonprofit organizations of the Pacific gathered together at the Western Resort for the first day of the 8th Micronesia Nonprofit Congress Conference. The annual conference is put on every year by Pazuta, Inc., Guam's umbrella organization for non-governmental organizations. Sanctuary Inc. Director Teresa Ariola is a board member.
Nonprofits from Guam and our Pacific partners, nonprofit organizations in Micronesia, coming together here on Guam, talking about issues, finding solutions, looking at best practices, and helping to share and those best practices as a Micronesia people.
The first 2 days will focus on discussion and problem-solving methods for current issues faced by NGOs who provide services to different groups such as veterans, youth, disabled, ethnic groups, and more.
We're compiling recommendations to share with our legislative and policy makers this Friday at the Policy Forum at the Guam Legislature, and then the off-island guests will take those resolutions and ideas back home and share it with their policymakers as well.
The conference will continue through Monday and features interactive field trips to the different on-island nonprofits.
A new study is out that quantifies the value of solar energy and storage in Guam. Consultant Ben Norris says they examined 4 different benefits that residential and commercial solar provide to the local utility company.
For every kilowatt hour that's delivered to the grid, that means that the utility is able to back off their generation, so you save in fuel consumption, you save in the need for future generation build, so capacity for new power plants.
He says a third benefit is that it helps a utility with its renewable energy goals and finally offers greater energy independence from volatile fossil fuel prices. The study was commissioned by solar company MRE to support the growing importance of renewable energy on Guam. Meanwhile, GPA is planning a new 180-megawatt power plant in Dededo, but Norris says increasing solar capacity instead could ultimately help mitigate costs.
For every year that you can push off, you're reducing your risk of overcapacity, right? So maybe after 10 years, you've pushed it off so long that enough solar is available, enough solar storage is there to dispatch this energy. Maybe you would never have had to buy it in the first place. Or maybe instead of 180 megawatts, it only has to be 100 megawatts or 50 megawatts. And so that's another benefit.
The study by Norris was presented to GPA, the CCU, and the PUC.
Sports is next, but first, here's your island weather.
Smartphone Super Sale event. Enjoy huge savings on our most popular Samsung Galaxy smartphones. But this offer won't last long, so drop into a GTA store today.
Introducing Taco Bell's latest work of art. The new Triple Melt Nachos. Seasoned beef topped with a lavish blend of 3 melty cheeses. Another delicious masterpiece, only at Taco Bell.
Our mighty SUV mega sale is
and have them start progressing up the FIBA ladder consistently as one group. It's been a while since we've established a U15 team. I think it was about 3 years ago we did it, and that team eventually competed in the under-17 games that were in Guam last summer.
Coach Eddie Pelkey says he's still hopeful Guam will be represented in the girls division, with logistics on the tournament still pending. The 2018 Marianas Open is scheduled for this Sunday at the FD Phoenix Center. Last year's Marianas Open champion Felipe Pena is back to defend his crown in the light heavyweight division. Isaac Bahins is also back to defend his title in the lightweight division. The two met in the finals last year, with Pena defeating Bahins via submission.
It's always a pleasure to be here. It's my 3rd time in Guam. They're doing a great event here, the Marianas Open, bring athletes, the best athletes of all over the world. The guys here are so nice, you know, the island's so beautiful. Amazing beach, amazing energy, so I'm really happy to be here again.
In honor of the 11th season of the Marianas Open, a total cash prize of $25,000 will be given respectively, and 2 black belt champions will have an opportunity to win up to $10,000. The first black belt bout is set to begin at 12 in the afternoon.
This year we have some different athletes like Muhammad Ali.
The resolution was introduced by Senator Dennis Rodriguez Jr. and Senator Joe S. Sonagiston.
Yeah, the award's pretty cool. You know, it's the first time here. I'm getting an award here in Guam, and it's cool. All the family and friends came out to support me, so I'm happy to receive this award and being an ambassador of Guam.
Close to 600 runners came out for the annual Chuck E. Cheese's Guam 2K and 5K run held at GPO. The run ended in front of Chuck E. Cheese, with participants greeted by Chuck E. himself. Runners in the 5K took off first, followed by the kids and parents in the 2K. First overall finisher in the 2K was Rainier De Ramos, and first overall finisher in the 5K was Kenta Tagashi. The University of Guam men's soccer team won their 10th match of the Guam Football Association's Budweiser Premier
living in different parts of the mainland and Mexico.